Walton trustees authorized an address change from Stockton Avenue to Terrace Avenue on Monday, August 7th, 2023.
Okay, the first thing on our agenda is public input. If there's anyone in here that would like to have a moment or so to talk about something, please give your name and address and stand. Yes, sir.
Glenn Lepinnet, Terrace Avenue at this time. What I was asking the village to consider is, since we've put the new house in on Terrace there in Stockton, we would like to make the address 3 Terrace Avenue, and the 3 Terrace Avenue, 5 Terrace Avenue. And I've already called 911 and everybody has the blessings, and they said that it'll be up to the village to make a decision on what has to be done. So my request is I would like to have 3 for there, and then 5 for my daughter, and so it stays right there. It doesn't hurt anything right there because it's 3, 5, and there's nobody all the way around to get to the other side, 23, 27. So I would like to do that, and I say the simulation here is that it's like getting out of a divorce. You know, the house there kind of like has some bad vibes for us, so we really don't want to be in that address, so that's why I'm trying to hope that we can go that way. So that is one thing would like to ask the village to do.
Are those addresses already taken, or?
Just the 3 Terrace where I live, so that would be slid down to the corner, which was 62, and then my daughter would take over 5, so it'd be 3, 5. And then the real tax people up in Delhi said they can switch that, that's not a problem, and 911 says no problem. The postmaster, he said whatever the 3 of those guys done, I'm all in for it. So there was no problem at that level. So it's just kind of like, you know, you got a new house, it's kind of like a fresh start for us, and that's why we wanted to do that and stay away from the house there that will be tore down in about a year, because it's got all our stuff in it right now.
Well, and we've never done something like that in the code or anything. I don't know if there's.
Yeah, I have no idea what the red tape is on that. I mean,
Well, if I may interject here, according to the real tax people up there, it's just some paperwork, and then the village then takes over. They actually change the tax map. They do it, and then they send it to you guys, and then to the 911 and to us, and then we just change it at the post office. So that's really, there's really not a lot of red tape that you would think. I thought there was too, until I started researching it and finding out it's actually not that bad. So that's my request there. And the reason for doing this, I didn't realize that Star is coming up at the end of the month. So that's why, and we have to change all our stuff anyway, because we got into this house. So that's why I'm looking to do this all in one shot here, so that we don't have to double do it or whatever.
Well, what's the board think of what's?
I mean,
Nick, do you have anything to say?
assuming,
Well, one of the problems we have, Glenn, is, now, we've already gone through this once, up on Clark Street,
Clark Street.
which was a postal address, but it's actually on Bruce Street. And the rest of the property actually belongs to the people who live out there, and the people fronting Bruce Street objected to changing the name. So changing your address and making it, now, it is on Stockton Avenue. Now, I understand you put the building on with the back of the building facing Stockton Avenue, but the lot is still on Stockton Avenue.
Well, according to 911, and it's called Nina, they're trying to get restrict all properties geared to where the driveways come in onto the properties. That's what they're trying to do, because, and I can say this, UPS and FedEx and all them, they come up trying to drop stuff off to us. They're looking for the driveway on Stockton, and there is none. Except Pomeroy put one in a little, just before he left, but the real driveway is off of Terrace Avenue. It's been there for 88 years.
And it was never a problem before when you owned that property?
In
Stick these 2 Avenue building, you owned that property.
yes,
Correct.
we've owned that property. Then we knew we wanted to move into it at one time, but then after going through the house being built in 1890, you know, we had to weigh in and say it's really not really worth doing all that, and it's 2 stories. We're getting older, so we wanted to be on one level. But the NINA, and it stands for National something, I don't remember what she told me, but they're trying to gear all driveways so that when people come around looking for that address, they have a driveway and they want, you know, mailboxes and signs out by the mailboxes. A lot of people don't realize that postal people want the post office's boxes down by the driveways now, but a lot of people haven't done that yet. So I mean, it's I don't think there's a lot of red tape. In fact, according to what I've heard here, if there's an okay here today, 911 and the tax people will send papers down tomorrow.
Well, when we ran into the other property with Clark, we had a real problem with 911. That was our main issue, right? Remember they were
But
coming.
weren't you trying to change the name of the street?
That was Clark, Street? Yeah,
Yeah, see, I'm not changing the street. I'm not changing any of that.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure that's really the same thing.
Okay.
But now it's a separate lot, correct? But it's not, the lot already has an address,
Yes,
and that is Stockton Avenue.
that is Stockton
So
Avenue.
now you're saying you don't want that lot to be on Stockton Avenue?
Well, can't change the lot. I mean, the lot is physical,
Well, that's what I'm saying, physically it is on Stockton.
but I mean, there's been a couple incidences where we've added addresses between houses in town.
No, I'm
Village,
not,
rather.
I'm not saying, you could have an address of Terrace Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
because you said if they put it where the driveway is, which is not Terrace Avenue.
Correct.
Right.
That will not change the lot your building is on, which is actually on Stockton Avenue, correct? Is that what I understand?
I guess the address was assigned to that thing, 62 Stockton. So that, you know, that was probably way back before any of us were born.
Is the driveway on Stockton Avenue?
No, it's
or-
on Terrace.
It's on Terrace.
Yes. It's terrace right straight into the old garage that's been there ever since the house was built.
It does not make sense to put that address as 3.
Yeah, I mean, I
If
don't,
it did anything, it would be 1 and
Okay.
leave 3 as it is.
You can't do one. One is reserved for special things by 911.
I can do what we want to, because it's up to me in the
Oh.
village.
If
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But it
If
doesn't
the-
make sense to do 3 and 5, because the lot that's assigned
on
as
the
being
corner.
3 currently is gonna get,
Would you object to it
With
being one
taxes.
rather
I
than
would
three?
not. In fact, when I called up there, I said, can I just make it 1? And make it 1 and leave 3 the way it is. And she said, well, no, there's no, but then she called me back and said that, according to that, there was some thing about they reserved 1s for special things or something, intersections, something like
we
that. But
can-
she did say it is up to the village.
We
It
can
is
go
up to the
to
village.
One,
Well, I guess my question is, all you're concerned about is your mailing address, correct?
Yeah, and a little bit,
Okay.
a little bit of,
Little bit
you know,
more.
sediment also.
But the property itself is actually Stockton Avenue.
It is right now, yes. I
and the
can't-
driveway is on,
So, I mean, I don't, what you wanna have for your address is between you and the post office. A
No,
mailing
because
address.
because we have to change our license and everything.
the village has to agree with it.
We have to go through the license change, and that's why I'm doing it, I wanna do it now if I can, because we have to change all our licenses, because we're changing our address. We're moving basically is what it is. So you gotta change all your licenses, everything that's associated with 3 Terrace for me has to be changed. So I'm just saying that Terrace has been in I lived on that street for 43 years, and it's just sentimental, and,
So, my question, so what happens to 3 Terrace?
well, according to Jody, according to what she's saying, is it will stay 3 Terrace and not change at all, and we would just add
Add
one
more, you add
one
to it
terrace.
instead of leave 3 the way it is.
Correct,
Oh,
You
Three
could do
Terrace
that.
is a house?
Yeah,
the property,
it's the property.
Yeah, it's a property.
that's where I live.
Property. So it's the property that's being, addressed more than the house. The house is on the property, right, the property has the address.
Nobody
I don't know
could-
how it really goes.
Nobody
but-
could explain that to me on how that is, but what you're saying is correct. That property is assigned 62 Stockton, that one's 3
It only makes
Terrace.
sense because if you had the property without a house on it, it would still be an address.
Yes, it is, because I looked them up in town. There
Right,
is,
so,
yes.
so technically,
the
all those
property.
lots are the property, the house is on number 3 or number 4 or
Correct,
whatever it
it's
may
the
be.
property, it's the land that has the address.
Right, okay,
Yes.
that's what it is. So does anybody,
So 1 and 3, 5 is problematic for some reason?
no, they have
Well,
one.
no, that was just a suggestion by 911 to make the switch.
Okay.
Because they said that, one might not be there, but she did say it was up to the village.
So you want to make the designation of 1 and 3.
Well, 3 is already there.
3 would not be
It
changed.
would be 1,
It would just be
if that's what somebody
62,
wants to do.
62 to 1 Terrace, that's what it would be.
I would absolutely make a motion to change 62 Stockton Avenue to 1 Terrace, if for no other reason than because
Is there a second on that?
Second, due diligence.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
No.
I don't know what to say.
Well, just do what you gotta, say what you gotta say.
Well, if 911 gives us the same problem they gave with.
Well, if they do, then we'll come back and say that we can't, but he said they're not going to. If
No.
911 gives us a hard time, or somebody else does, then we're gonna have an issue.
I
As long
can't
as you're-
argue, I can't argue that.
We'll take you, okay, good.
I can't,
If anybody says anything about that, we won't do it.
Pending what 911
Yeah.
and the county
Yeah.
say.
So, okay.
if they say something like that, but, the village would have to then, okay, I'm gonna have them call the village and say that you said that,
And what they say.
that one was okay, because that's,
It's, yes, depending on what they say. Okay,
so I will call them tomorrow and they'll get in contact with the village.
okay.
And then if they say yes or no, yes, we continue,
No,
no,
then we
it's a
have-
drop cost.
Okay, fair enough?
Okay, yes,
Okay.
yes, thank you.
thanks, sir.
To subscribe or advertise, call 607-464-4009.